You mentioned Tottenham, though, Kate. You are reportedly on the brink of a £65 million move for Dominic Solanke. And I saw you in the chat a couple of days ago, and you didn't seem like an happy bunny about this one.
Well, it's purely because we spent 65 million on Richarlison, and Solanke, in my opinion, is the same sort of level. I know a lot of people think he's better, and statistically wise.
No, wait, I'm sorry. Wait, sorry. How much did you spend on Richard?
Hey,
Richard, 65 million.
60 million, 65 million
you
around.
Got robbed. You got robbed.
Why is a Chelsea fan talking about
you got robbed?
How much have you paid for Caicedo and Enzo?
Patrick, you spent £65 million on a pigeon, bro. Come on, let's not.
Yeah, Richard.
Listen. Chelsea fans should not be talking. Everyone else I can hear it from, but not the
that man's from Scunthorpe. He ain't Brazilian.
Not the Chelsea.
What?
No, I mean, but Enzo and Caicedo are good players though.
I don't know about that.
Why are we just going over the? Why are we just going over the point that she just made that Solanke and Richarlison are the same level? Sorry, Kate. Sorry, Kate.
You don't
I
call
apologize.
somebody a she or a he.
Sorry, that was
rude.
very, very rude from me. Apologies,
Terry,
guys.
how you can call him rude when what you were calling me backstage? Don't even go there. I was called a male athlete or something.
I did call you a geezer. No, but me and you are like, we have that. Me and you are on that banter level. Do you know what I mean? So it's different. Do you know what I mean, geez? But yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Love.
Apologies. Yeah, Kate, you need to explain that to me, because I don't think Richarlison is nowhere near Solanke's level. Nowhere near.
Well, if you look at the stats, they're really closely matched together. There's barely anything between the two, right? There's things that Solanke's better at. There's things that Richarlison's better at. But if we're going to pay that sort of money for another striker, I want him to be a big upgrade from Richarlison. And for me, Solanke isn't that. He had a fantastic season last year, sort of exceeded everyone's expectations of what he did. He got 20 goals last season. Richie got 14. But Solanke played 42 matches. Richie only played 23. Then there's not a lot in it. The only difference with Solanke to Richie really is he plays a full season and doesn't very often get injured. Apart from that, it does absolutely nothing for me, the thought of signing Solanke. I think it's a terrible decision. You've got Toney out there. You could get Toney and Chiesa for the same price that we're going to pay for Solanke. It's madness. It's absolutely madness.
It can work though. It can work. Like even if he's look, I'm not gonna slate on Solanke. Obviously, he played for Liverpool and all that, but he's still a good quality striker, and he's better than the Pigeon. Honestly, he's a better striker than the Pigeon. He's a lot more clinical, and he's a lot more dominating in up top, and that's what you guys need.
No,
and plus, he's a lot. I think he's a couple years younger than Toney.
Would you take him at Liverpool?
Would I take him at Liverpool? That's a different story.
Exactly.
Yes, you want to take Ram. Come on,
but it's different because I don't like taking back what we already sold. That's just me. I don't like going back to.
Okay, I can understand that.
You know what I mean? But personally, I think it's a good signing for Tottenham. I really, really do. And the benefit of it is we get an extra £13 million because of that sell-on clause. So please, Tottenham, go ahead.
Wait, but then like what Kate just said, like if Ivan Toney is sitting right there. He only has 12 months left on his deal, right? Yep. So it shouldn't be that hard to get done. He's at Brentford. Tottenham should be able to go in there and bully them, like with a player.
I don't know what's Will.
But like, how come nobody knows Ivan Toney anymore? Like,
I don't know what's going on, bro. Something's going on with Ivan Toney. How can 3 clubs that are in for him suddenly say, "Oh no, you know what? We're relaxing these rumors and we're not going in for him"? Why?
It's weird.
Why is this all happening?
It's like he's sitting right there. I'm with you.
But apparently, we had the only thing I know about these internal discussions that have happened is that we didn't like his attitude. Why are Tottenham moved away from him? Why have Man United moved away from him? Why are Chelsea not in for him? Like, we need to know why. But then what is going on? Is it his attitude? Is it him? I don't know.
But then, do you think that maybe then it's more of like a Brentford problem, right? Because maybe Brentford are putting like a high evaluation like on a player.
No, but they've dropped. No, but
they've lowered it.
They've dropped the price. They've dropped the price down to I think 40 mil.
40?
Yeah.
40
yeah.
Okay.
As in like one club is a coincidence. 2 clubs, something stinks. 3 clubs, then there must be something wrong.
Something wrong, bro.
No, but 40 mil. I was going to say 40 mil, 28 years old, 1 year left on his deal. I'll just wait. I'll just wait. I don't need him urgently.
He's homegrown as well.
No, wait, hold on, wait. But for example, like a team like Tottenham, or so how Tottenham, they want to try and compete for things, right? They need him like right now. Like, why wait another season?
I don't think
he'd come in and instantly make a difference.
I don't think
Spurs wait for him to be a free agent, and then everybody can now talk to him, and then now you have to fight everybody else.
I just don't think Spurs look at Toney and go, "Yeah, 40 mil straight away is exactly what we need." Otherwise, they would have done it. There has to. I don't think. I think the attitude thing is like, it is what it is. I think there's more the fact of I just don't think these bigger teams rate him enough to go and drop the 40 mil straight away.
I mean, fair, but then maybe you can even do like installments then, because we know that like most of these deals don't get paid all at one time. So it's
I know, but but I'm just saying it's like I just don't think Spurs looking at it going like, oh, we could either wait, until his contract finishes and then we can try and sign him, or we can sign him right now for 40 mil, or we could go and try and improve our squad in other ways that could also cost 40 mil, because Spurs do have a lot of holes. So
that's true. But I think Toney is the best striker available on the market this summer, especially for the price that he's going to cost. I'm not going to have to pay
I agree with your opinion, but if I'm going to play devil's advocate, it does concern me that no one's willing to buy him. And I think sometimes in life, no matter what you think about someone now you could listen to a music artist and this is the best song I've ever heard. But if every time he releases a song, no one buys it, maybe your opinion on that artist isn't as good. Like, you might still like it, but it doesn't mean it's good music. And I sometimes feel we do that with footballers too much, where you rate someone and you realize, Jesus, he's 32 and he's never played for a big club. There's something in that sometimes, but I do think Solanke's a good signing for Spurs. I know 65 million sounds a lot, but is it in 2024 for someone? I think about the way you guys play football, the cutbacks, the through balls, the attacking nature. I think it's almost disrespectful to compare him to Richarlison. What he did last year for a Bournemouth team, Richarlison could not dream of doing. Richarlison doesn't have the clinical edge that I think Solanke possesses. Now, for me, when you think about the top strikers in the world, in their pomp right now, they sell for 150 million pounds. So getting Solanke at 65 million, I think, is a reflection for where he sits in that sort of threshold of strikers, if that makes sense. If Solanke was maybe a couple of years younger and spent the next 2 years scoring 20 to 25 league goals, he'd be 130, 140 million pound player. I actually think you're doing a smart thing by getting him now. If he has another good year at Bournemouth, do you know how much more expensive he's going to be? And I think that he's going to score a lot of goals for Tottenham next year. And I think he's going to be one of those signings where everybody forgets how much you're paying for him inside 6 months. I think
so you think that he moves the needle for Tottenham? Because for me, I don't think anything changes whether they bring him in or not. They're still going to compete for top four and not win trophies, whether they spend the 65.
Whether winning trophies is a great point. They had Harry Kane, one of the best technical strikers this country's ever produced, and they still didn't win any trophies. So I'm not going to go that far with Tottenham as of right now because they need more business. But I think as someone who does he come in and fulfill his role as a 65 million pound striker? Yes, I think he scores between 20 and 30 goals in all comps next season for Tottenham, and for that amount of money, I think that's a very, very good return. It's on other play. It'll be on other players. It's about the wide players contributing. It's about the midfield. It's about the club learning to handle pressure. And I don't think the signing of Solanke changes that for Tottenham overnight. But I do think it's a phenomenal piece of business for Tottenham. I think it's really, really good. Him and Archie Gray are two of the best bits of business that any Premier League team will do this summer. They need more. But I think they're really good.
65 mil.
I don't know whether To's joking or if he's serious.
No, not at 65 mil for Solanke.
No, but the thing is, David, they've got money to. Bro,
hang on a minute. You're about to drop 40 mil.
Do I agree with it? But Terry, I don't agree with it.
On the Marion, bro.
But sometimes, guys, it's not about our subjective opinions. It's about the market rate and what players cost. If it's 40 million pounds to buy Samu Amarodian, 25 million more for a tried and tested in his peak player who just bagged 20 league goals last year, it's not daylight robbery. Yes, he's not fashionable. Yes, there's no hype around him. Yes, he doesn't have, sort of a calling card. That's the issue with this. He's not fashionable. But not being fashionable doesn't mean not good. I think he's a really good bit of business for a striker. Scoring goals is the hardest skill in football. I don't care about your drag backs, your flaps, your overarching drag backs, whatever you want to call them, right? Goal scoring is the hardest skill in the game. There's no skill in football that's harder than goal scoring, and this man can score goals. And I think what we saw is as soon as he was in a team that played progressive football, he came alive. Spurs play progressive football. They attack. They create. The chances your number 9 players in your number 9's position missed last year, he could easily bag 20-plus league goals. And if he does that for 2 or 3 seasons running, he's more than returned at £65 million. I think it's good business, but Spurs do need more.
Can I must say on this, Terry? Because obviously I've listened to everyone. And yeah, you know what? I'm with both of you. I'm with you, Terry, and I'm with you, Kate. When I saw the news and we were linked to Solanke, I was really like, oh, really? But as I think about it, I'm really in the middle with this because, like you said, he scored 19 goals last year for Bournemouth. The year before in the Championship, he scored 29 goals. So if you look at him from a standpoint of improving, as you know, sometimes strikers develop later in life. It looks like he's really like, you know, he was at big clubs before and didn't really make it. He did the right thing, moved to a lower club, honed his trade, crafted himself, and he looks like he's coming into his heyday now. When you look at 65 million, you think that's a lot, especially when you compare it to Richarlison and this and that. But I agree with what Terry's saying. He's a completely different player to Richarlison. He's a lot more clinical. He presses from the front. He makes good runs. In the team where you now can play Son on the left in his favourite position, we create a lot of chances. Someone like Solanke, who is always, essentially, I don't want to jinx it, but he's always fit and available. He could score a lot of goals for Tottenham. He's not the name I wanted. I wanted Ivan Toney and Victor Gyökeres. I'm not going to lie to you. Those are the names I've been looking at, and I've been licking my lips and really hoping we brought one of them in. So when I saw the links to Solanke, I was disappointed. But when I do look at what he can bring to Spurs, and with him and Richarlison, and like I said, Son in his favourite position, and hopefully players stay fit, I do think he could do business for Spurs. And yeah, sometimes it's about the team, innit? Like some of the names, yes, on paper, he's not appealing. He's not going to really like get the fans to the stadium right away. But if he comes in and starts scoring goals, everyone's going to forget about the price tag. Everyone's going to forget about this ban. So everyone's going to forget about all of this, and he's just going to get on and do his job. So yeah, it's a strange one because the striker market right now is really poor. Ivan Toney is a really strange one because the guy's literally begging for a move. And no one's even looked at him like that, which is mental considering how many teams need strikers. So something's not right there.
Patrick,
so I don't know.
Do you think Kulu could go into the sort of say the 65 million? You don't think he could go into the striker role because in pre-season he's looking comfortable there.
In a one-off game for 30 minutes, maybe to mix things up, Kulu looks okay there. But when you play a decent team who know how to man-mark a striker and know about movement and defenders like a Diaz, a Saliba, a Virgil van Dijk, anyone, Konate, anyone that's half decent, they have Mark Kulu out of the game, man. That's not his favourite position. Maybe as a 10, Kulu's okay. Off the wing, cool. But not as a number 9 throughout the course of a season, no chance. But he could be an option later on in the game if you need to overload the box. He works in that way. So yeah, the striker market is really poor. Everything Terry said is bang on. You got a guy that scored 20 Premier League goals. When you see Chelsea linked to guys for 40 million that none of us have heard of, it's not even banter. Like, you got to really put things into perspective. Eddie Nketiah is about to go for 20 mil, and that guy can't score 3 or 4 league goals in a season. So
Eddie Nketiah, they're probably going to get over 30, but they're going to get over 30. They're going to get over 30 million pounds for Eddie Nketiah, but that's the point I'm making here. Like, if we look at Eddie Nketiah and Solanke, let's say they end up getting 30 to 35 million. It is not a disrespectful claim to make that Solanke's twice as good at him at scoring goals. He is. So this is why I don't think 65 million is this crazy number for him. What I agree with, he's just not fashionable. He doesn't get the juices flowing and nobody's like, oh my God. And sometimes we're a little bit, we're like magpies sometimes. We're a little bit excited by shiny things as opposed to what we actually need. Do you know what I mean? Like a shiny bit of tinfoil is not going to feed a magpie, a worm will, but that's not what they're attracted to sometimes. There's got somebody super chats here. First thing says, Solanke is a better fit for Spurs than Toney. Younger, way more mobile, just as physical. Look at his record. Toney is just more popular.
Yeah, I
That's
think
a man like Josh.
About right. Yeah, I think that's about right. To be fair, it's about right. Literally, what I was
Big up
saying.
Josh, man.
Yeah, big up Josh. Good guy.
And also, you only bid 50 million to begin with, so you might even get him less than 65 million pounds. This here says Solanke, 26 years old, one good season, 50 million, in my opinion.
Gikaresh, if we're being real, it's the same with Gikaresh. Gikaresh has had one good season as well, albeit obviously it's in a league that isn't as good as the Premier League, but he plays for a better team. The striker market is on its knees right now, man. Show me a great striker.
But I think
Gyökeres, and Gyökeres has also played for Coventry, so he's actually played in England as well. So he's proven that he can handle the physicality as well, which is something that you can look at and be like, I think he can come in and replicate what he's doing over here.
No, the thing is, I'm not dissing Gyökeres. I think he's a good striker. I'm just comparing. Like, it's very comparable because when he was at Coventry, he didn't obviously pull down trees, did he? He was okay.
Yeah.
He wasn't bagging like 20 goals a season.
I think we're moving through a situation now, or a period where the strikers that were the best strikers in the world are like going into retirement now, and they're getting older. Now there's going to be a period where it's going to be there's going to be a bit of a limbo situation where everything's thrown into limbo, and I don't know whether the strikers are going to be able to. I think new strikers are going to come in. You're going to see younger strikers start to really gain traction with the fans, and you know what I mean. We're going to start to see new strikers that we're going to start to say, I think this striker's the best in the world. Obviously, it's Haaland right now, but yeah, I definitely think the striker market is on its arse at the moment.